Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 19. We need to talk about Kathy. Oh guys, we need to talk about a lot, so let's get into it. This is a to be continued from last week, although we're not really picking up exactly where we left off. We're picking up the next morning. We are at Kyle's house in Aspen. It's 10:39 a.m. We see Rinna packed up her suitcase and she's rolling it through the house, talking to herself. She's like, my head is definitely in a fog about last night. And then she's huffing on some aerosol can. I don't know. Well, I don't judge. No, I think it has something to do with altitude, right? Unless it's a can of whipped cream. Anyway, she's complaining about how puffy she is, and Aspen really does a number on your filler. Oh, I'm not kidding. Anyway, she's telling Kyle about it, and Kyle goes, I'm puffy from crying. My eyes look disgusting. Raina goes, when were you crying? What? Did you mean to say when weren't you crying? Anyway, Kyle goes through the list of times that she cried for Rinna, who doesn't seem to remember. In Rinna's confessional, she said, I'm not saying very much because I'm still in shock. I would never expect someone in this group to say those kind of things. We're all very kind to one another. Oh, but especially not Kathy Hilton. And Kyle's like, is Kathy not flying home with us? I went down there and it was still dark. Of course it was still dark. You have her in a room with no windows. In Kyle's confessional, she said, my sister doesn't want to come out of her room. But, it just feels so weird to leave her in Aspen. Hold up. You think your sister is asleep in the bedroom. And because she's not answering your texts or, I don't know, a knock on the door, you're going to get on the plane without her? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you barge right into that room and wake her up just to tell her you were going skiing and to not let the dog get out while you're gone? Go in her room. Don't you think this is a little more important? The plane is leaving. Anyway, Kyle in her confession said, I'm thinking if she's this upset, somehow this is going to end up being my fault. Getting on a plane and leaving the state without her, that is your fault. Anyway, we see that the ladies in Diana's hotel suite are all packed up and getting in their little van. Back at Kyle's, we see Kyle, Lisa, and Stormy, and, Teddy and Diana's baby. They're getting in their van, heading to the airport. I guess Mauricio went skiing again that morning, so he's just going to meet them at the airport. Then we see the outsiders at the airport, so everyone's all meeting up and getting on the plane. Except for Kathy. You have the cool kid table. It's Kyle and Mauricio, Diana and Rinna. And then Erica and Cherie are sitting across from each other. And they're across from Garcelle, Sutton, and Crystal. Erica leans across the aisle to Sutton and she goes, I don't want to fight with you. Sutton says she doesn't either. And the two of them want to connect, not talking about legal stuff, but on a human level. That may be difficult for at least one of them. Erica's like, listen, I was lashing out and I'm sorry. In Sutton's confessional, she goes, is this plane going down? Are we going to die? Is that why Erica is saying I'm sorry? So now Mauricio asks why Kathy didn't come on the plane with them. Dorit's like, has anyone asked her? No, she's asleep. This is Kyle's answer. We tried to go into her room and it was pitch dark. We know. All right, so Kyle says, then she texted back and said, I'm not going home on the plane. I'm wondering if she even spent the night at Kyle's. I bet that's what Kyle's not saying. That room was probably empty. Anyway, Erica in her confessional said, Kathy's not on the plane because she had a breakdown at the club that we all saw. Kyle's like, everybody knows. I talked to Sutton about it in the car ride home. In Sutton's confessional, she said, Kathy was a little bit off. She kept wanting everyone to do a conga line, and nobody really wanted to do it. Next thing I know, she's in my face saying, I want to go home. And if you don't go home with me, you're not my friend. In Crystal's confessional, she said, yeah, I heard some commotion, but I didn't really see anything. I've known Kathy Hilton a long time, longer than some of the others in this group. I mean, how bad could her behavior have been? Well, we named the whole episode after it, so I'm guessing bad. In Diana's confessional, she said, I went to the bathroom and when I came back, she was completely raging, screaming at the girls, mostly Kyle. Then Kyle says, Kathy said she was pissed off and I had to leave the club with her right now. Side note, weren't they only supposed to be there for 5 minutes to look around and then leave? I think Kathy was brought there under false pretenses. She thought it was going to be super quick. That's why she's like, if I don't get in, it's no big deal. Because, I know she's seen the inside of it before. Kyle was just going to show the others around because it's pretty in there. Anyway, Kyle said she was confused because she didn't know what was wrong with Kathy. So I said, no, I'm not going home. How about asking Kathy? Because I still don't know what happened at the club to get Kathy upset. I know there were things leading up to it. I know Rinna was kind of in her face about Kendall Jenner's 818 tequila. I know she was upset about that and left. If something else happened, I don't know about it. Because actually, on the way to the club, if you recall, she was sitting right next to Rinna in the car. I don't know what got her really upset at the club. But I would think somebody would just ask. So then Dorit in her confessional says, eventually, Rinna said to Kathy, come on, I'll take you home. And then they both left. Rinna in her confessional, we got into a Sprinter van. Okay, time out. Yes, I did not know what a Sprinter was. In my defense, I was reading it from the text and she didn't say van. She said, Kathy and I got in a Sprinter. I thought she meant that was like some kind of fight they got in. I didn't know what that meant. If she had said, Kathy and I got into a Sprinter van, I would have been able to figure it out. There were some contextual clues there. The word van would have tipped me off, is what I'm saying. Okay, so Rinna goes, we got into a Sprinter van? And Kathy starts screaming about everything. I'm going to take down NBC. I'm going to take down Bravo. I will take down this show single-handedly. Well, not single-handedly, because some of your castmates have already helped with that. Too late. Then she said, I will fucking ruin you all. What in the holy fucking hell? So now on the plane, Rinna says, I can't even repeat what she said last night. That's how bad it is. Back to her confessional, Rinna says, we got back to Kyle's, just the two of us. And it gets worse. She takes her glasses off, throws them to the ground. She's jumping up and down, breaking her glasses. Side note, now I know why Rinna's wearing scuba goggles on the plane. She's opting for something a little sturdier in case Kathy whips them off her head and jumps up and down on them. Okay. We're not done yet. Rinna goes on. She's pounding the walls and she's screaming, she made Kyle. Kathy's responsible for Kyle. And then she said, I will destroy Kyle and her family if it's the last thing I do. I was scared. I locked my door. Now on the plane, Kyle said she is talking about how her daughters all get along with each other. They're great friends. And she goes, that's not how it was when we grew up. Me, Kathy, and Kim, we would get in fights. We'd scratch each other, bite. I was a biter. Yikes. In Kyle's confessional, she said, Rinna was texting Erica a play-by-play of everything that was happening that night. And I was just glancing over her shoulder. And I was like, ugh. I don't want to go home. Then Rinna says in the confessional that will never end that Kyle is way more famous and way more successful than Kathy Hilton has ever been. On what planet is Kyle more successful than Kathy Hilton? I mean, I don't know how you're judging success, but a quick Google search of their net worth shows that Kyle Richards has a net worth of $100 million, which, nothing to sneeze at. And Kathy Hilton has a net worth of $350 million. If she means successful on a personal level, that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how Kyle always seems like there's this empty pit that she keeps trying to fill with material things, basically. And more famous also. Outside of Housewives and the Halloween franchise, do people know Kyle Richards more than they know Kathy Hilton? I don't know. That's like saying that Kathy is more famous and successful than her daughter Paris. No, she's not. And neither is Kyle. In the confessional that never ends, Rinna goes on to say that Kathy still hasn't gotten over the agency stuff. We get a flashback to when Mauricio told Kyle that he was approached to start his own real estate firm. And yeah, because he used to work with Rick Hilton. So I kind of can understand that. He probably stole clients and stuff. Yeah, I get that one. And Rinna's like, and the American Woman series, a flashback to Kyle telling Lisa Vanderpump that she did a deal with Warner Brothers for a scripted show that's loosely based on her life. And then we see in another flashback of Kathy saying, it paints mom in a very poor light. And I think that if I were you, I just would have checked with you first. I kind of understand Kathy being mad at both of those things. And Rinna wraps things up by saying that I think it's hard for Kathy Hilton to have it all and then see that her sister has even more. Again, she doesn't, but okay. So back to being on the plane, Kyle goes, you guys, how is Kathy getting to the airport? Now I'm getting worried. Really? You're in the air flying home without her, and you're just now wondering how she's going to get to the airport. Anyway, like I said, Kyle's saying, I'm worried about Kathy now. And Rinna goes, don't worry about her. It's not your problem. Okay, that's sweet. It is her sister, who's older and, bumbles around like the absent-minded professor. So there is a concern. Plus, Dorit stole her shoes. Okay, next we are back in LA. We're at a home and garden store with Sutton and Rinna. How did those two end up shopping together? They're looking for a little gift to give Crystal for her birthday party. Now we get a flashback to on the plane when Crystal got everyone's attention and said that in a few days it's going to be my birthday. I'm turning 39 and I'm inviting you all to a party at my house, and it's going to be like a Roaring 20s Great Gatsby theme. All right, so back at the store, they quickly agree on an orchid. They're like, yeah, this will be perfect. It's in a big pot, and they decide to have it shipped to her. I don't know. It was weird. It almost seemed like they were contractually obligated to shop together, and they just kind of picked the first thing they saw so that they could get out of there. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's what it felt like. I mean, the orchid was beautiful, but did two of these ladies really have to go in on it together? Okay, now we're at Crystal's, and she and Rob are talking about her birthday week. Her birthday week. How am I just learning now that I should have forced my husband to celebrate me for an entire week? There's always next year. So Crystal's talking about the parties the next day, and Rob goes, oh my God, it's tomorrow? Is it going to be fun? No, Rob, it's not. Crystal just laughs and she's like, I don't know. Okay, so now we check in at Kyle's house and she's packing again. She is not going to be at Crystal's birthday party because she's heading to Georgia to film Halloween Ends. Full disclosure, I don't like scary movies, so I haven't seen all the Halloweens. I probably saw the first one because, it's so famous. But I know there have been several since. And this one being called Halloween Ends, it just sounds like bad news for Kyle's career, doesn't it? For her sake, I hope it doesn't mean what it sounds like. This is the last Halloween movie. Anyway, Kyle tells us that she hasn't seen or spoken to Kathy since Aspen. She's probably still asleep in that room. No windows, Kyle. She doesn't know what time of day it is or what day it is. Okay, next we are with Dorit and Erica in a chocolate shop. I guess they're actually going to be making the chocolates themselves. The store owner calls them Lucy and Ethel, which really seems to delight Dorit. And it makes Erica cackle. Which one's Lucy? This scene goes on for a while. All I can say is the takeaway here is that chocolate is a luxury. So if there's any lesson to be learned from this scene, that's it.
Chocolate is a luxury.
Yes,
It is. Chocolate is like a reward.
And it's a luxury.
It's a luxury.
24 karat gold, so I'm going to sprinkle a bit of that on there.
That's what we were just saying. It's a real luxury. This is a luxury chocolate.
It's a luxury. Chocolate is a luxury. So now the guy leaves to go whip up something special for Crystal's birthday. It allows Dorit and Erica to talk, and Dorit said, I know you saw what Garcelle said on the reel. All right, so the reel has aired now. Erica, Yeah, it was devastating. Side note, I'm having trouble taking Erica seriously in that hat. God, you guys, what if this was Kyle's happy place and everyone had to wear a monogrammed chocolatier's hat? Yikes. Suddenly, the cowboy hat's not looking so bad. So Erica is upset that she thought Garcelle was kind of playing nice in Aspen, as opposed to what she would have liked is to have Garcelle say, look, girl, I tore up your ass on TV. Dorit goes, I choose to support my friend. I see my friend hurting. And when I talk to Kyle, this is what upset me. If I support you, then I am in some way supporting the alleged crimes. No, Dorit, that's not what... No. Erica goes, oh my God. Yeah, that's not it. That's not what Kyle was saying. It's about Erica not showing or acting or in any way seeming like she has any compassion for people who have been victimized already. Not that you're supporting crimes or alleged crimes, but you're supporting someone who doesn't care about other people. So Dorit goes, so it was... You tell me right now if you agree with what she said the other night. We flash back to Kyle's yelling at Dorit saying, you know what Erica did was wrong, but you're not saying that and it's so disturbing. Erica, that's so fucking gross. Dorit, I know. Oh God, you two are missing the point. And I don't know at this point if you're doing it on purpose or not. In Erica's confessional, she said, I can't be dealing with these chicks who are worried what the neighbors think. They're not worried what the neighbors think. It's what they think. They are the neighbors. Then Erica's confessional goes on and she goes, fuck the neighbors. Of course. We're already fucking the victim, so why not the neighbors? No, she goes, fuck the neighbors. And then she leans forward and she goes, by the way, I do want to say this. And let me be very clear. Sometimes those ones that are really, doing the best are hiding the most. So then to Dorit, she says, I'm tired of being the whipping boy when I know there are others who display not the best behavior. So if Kyle's going to have a conversation about my behavior, Dorit, if you want to get something off your chest, just say it. Who? Who are you talking about? Erica. Just like, mentally getting across who she's talking about. And Dorit goes, oh boy. In Dorit's confessional, she says, in this town, the rules are different for the hyper elite. Kathy Hilton's been in this town her whole life. She's part of a family that has a lot of strength, a lot of wealth, a lot of connections. It's like she's delicately skirting around not calling the Hiltons mafia. You have to think twice if you really want to challenge them. Oh, she's totally acting like they're a mob family. Erica, we've all seen each other at our worst. We've all heard things that are probably not the best. But if you think I'm going to be the fucking whipping boy for the entire group, you got another thing coming, honey. Erica, you do know that talking about how bad the others in the group are doesn't make you any less atrocious. It just means you're all bad. All right, everyone, gather your valuables. Keep them close to your sides. We're in Erica's house. I'm sorry to report, not a very good look at the pool this time. What I can see does look black. The water level may have evaporated some, and it's sort of maybe exposing kind of an algae-ish appearance around the edges. But again, I didn't get a full picture of the pool. So Erica is having drinks with Preston, her makeup artist, and Clyde, her hairstylist. We check in with Sutton, who's with her glam team, and everyone's getting ready for this Roaring 20s party. Sutton actually has an authentic 1920s dress, so she's excited to wear that. Otherwise, she said she doesn't really like theme parties. At Dorit's, it's her and Phoenix. Dorit grabs a Coke out of the refrigerator and she goes, Phoenix, you should close your eyes right now. So Phoenix goes over to the counter, grabs the can of Coke. No, Mommy, you're not taking a soda at night. Puts it back in the refrigerator. Dorit, how will I stay up? Phoenix, get a coffee or something. I think she's 5. Cherie comes over to Garcelle's while she's getting ready. She looks cute, like a little flapper girl. Garcelle is upstairs. I'm not totally understanding Garcelle's outfit. She's in black pants, black shirt, white suspenders that say Chanel. She does have finger waves, which is, of the time period, but a hat, almost like a gangster hat. I don't think I understand this. Is this like a Cotton Club kind of a look? But she does have a gorgeous jeweled choker on. Oh, okay. She said her inspiration was Josephine Baker. So that is like the right time period, but Josephine Baker didn't wear men's clothing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just find it an interesting choice. So anyway, Cherie is downstairs while Garcelle's finishing getting ready, and she sees a gift for Crystal and a card. And Cherie does this sort of slapsticky scene where she takes the card and opens it, running around looking for a pen. She finds a yellow highlighter and writes her name on it and then licks the envelope, seals it, and puts it back, which is okay. It's cute. But then she immediately tells Garcelle she did it. And then when they get to Crystal's house, she actually immediately confesses that the gift, she was joking when she signed it. So I'm worried that they're struggling to find things for Cherie to do. And if that's the case, then I feel like they're not going to make her a housewife next year. And I do like her. I think she deserves a chance. And she's Will Smith's ex. So I feel like, there's some stories there that might need to come out. There's just a little scene before they leave the house where Garcelle tells Cherie that on the reel, she had that conversation about the earrings, and Cherie's like, oh, I gotta be honest with you, that would be hard to give up. And Garcelle's like, what? Girl, stop it right now. You have other things. Why wouldn't you give up the earrings? And Cherie's like, I'm just saying it would be a hard thing to do. What was the consensus of the other ladies on the reel? And Garcelle said, well, my consensus was give the earrings back. And then she said, I don't know how Erica's going to feel about it, but I'm going to be seeing her for the first time since it aired. Okay, so now we're at Crystal's house. Everything is all ready for the Roaring 20s party. Bravo has an old movie filter on, which is cute, as we see Rob and Crystal coming down the stairs. Crystal's wearing a Chinese silk dress, which is, I guess, from the 1920s. And, we see the guests arriving with this filter. They're playing 20s music. Dorit arrives and in a dress with a beaded headband. She looks beautiful. Then we see Diana, who gets out of the car. I don't know if this is 20s. This looks very Marilyn Monroe-ish. She has a silver dress. And her hair is in kind of finger waves, but it's a little bit longer. She looks a little bit more like a Hollywood starlet. That didn't read 1920s to me at all. But she looked beautiful. And Asher, Asher looks like a little boy who was playing dress up in his dad's closet. It's so cute. The little tie and the hat. Sutton's dress is gorgeous. Erica is very striking. I get the bob. The hairstyle is perfect. The headpiece, it's a little Statue of Liberty, if I'm being honest. I guess it's, listen, I'm not a 1920s expert. I'm old, but I'm not that old. I wasn't around then. So I'm just going by movies, even The Great Gatsby, things like that. I just feel I'm not sure. But let's face it, Erica is just a beautiful woman. And whether that headpiece is 1920s or not, she always dresses in an interesting way. And I appreciate it. Oh, and Rinna also dressed like a man. She's got a top hat. This is, I don't know, like Joel Grey cabaret vibe. Rinna and Garcelle both going for a masculine look tonight. I'm here for it. Look, we could have had 8 flappers show up at this party. So this to me is far more interesting. Rinna tells us that she wants to celebrate Crystal, but she's still scared from her encounter with Kathy. Yeah. It scares me. I'm putting on a brave face, but I feel PTSD. Oh, I'm sorry, Rinna. It looks like Crystal already hired a magician. Somebody got their signals crossed. There's, of course, a photo area where people can, stand in front of a backdrop and get their pictures taken. And right now it's Rinna and Diana getting their picture taken. And then Diana looks across the room at Erica. And she goes, she looks like a 1920s Maleficent. Not wrong. Now all the ladies get in tight for a group photo. And here comes Kathy Hilton. Yep. The Dawn of Beverly Hills in the flesh. In her confessional, Rinna said, I'm surprised to see Kathy. I didn't think she'd show up. And she is decked out to the nines. Yeah, how dare she dress the theme? So Crystal asks everyone to head down to the basement now because it's finished. Oh my God. I hope the pizza oven is working. So Garcelle is chatting with Kathy and Rinna is just kind of looking at them from across the room. Rinna finds it excruciating to sit and watch Kathy act like nothing ever happened. And her discomfort is building. Okay, now we get a close-up of this plate of cookies. And in icing are the ladies' names, one on each cookie. There are also cookies, little round cookies that look like a fingerprint is on them. One of the cookies says, "Who done it?" And there is also a cookie that looks like a bloody knife. So I'm putting the clues together and I'm thinking this is a 1920s murder mystery party. Those never really go over well. Oh my God, you guys, do you remember the murder mystery party that Dorinda had at Bluestone Manor? I can't remember what season it was, but one of the actors at that party left a comment on my recap of that episode. Yeah. That is my brush with a celebrity. So Rob is talking to Dorit and Garcelle, and he tells them that jukebox over there is an original from 1940s. Garcelle, God bless her. She's like, how much did you pay for it? Just tell us. And he said $30,000, which everyone thought was pretty reasonable. Sutton and Erica, besties, are sitting at the bar talking about the mint julep that Erica is drinking. Then Rob walks up and Sutton and Erica are talking to him and they're like, this is beautiful down here. And Erica asks, when did you finish the renovation? And he said, today. And she goes, oh, I know. It's a lot of work because then you got to move plumbing and you got to get everything up to code. I know, because my house, built in 1928, went through the same stuff. Now we get a never-before-seen flashback to Tom and Erica kind of just strolling through their backyard. Erica's like, I don't know what we're going to do with that tree, and it's just a ginormous tree. Tom goes, it looks good. And Erica goes, it's totally dead, babe. This is hilarious. She's pointing out these tiny little tiles that are missing that need to be repaired on the side of the pool. Back when she knew how to take care of a pool. But can I just say, the best part, and by far the most delightful part of this flashback, is what Tom is wearing. Tom is in a polo that looks too big for him. That's nothing compared to the shorts. The shorts that Tom has on, I'm trying to figure out if he's in a skirt or a pair of capris, a little bit of a palazzo capri. They're just so big. They're just the biggest shorts I've ever seen. Is it like a 90s rapper look that he's going for? I just kept waiting for Tom to grab a big piece of cardboard and start breakdancing. He looks like Vanilla Ice's grandfather. So anyway, Rob escapes and it's just back to Erica and Sutton. And Sutton said, do you miss your house? And Erica goes, I drove by it the other day. She said it was sad to see it. It was empty and, she felt sad, but that it was never really hers. And she just needs to let it go. So then Kathy walks up to the two of them and says, excuse me, not to change the subject, but I noticed everyone goes a little bit above the lip with their liner. Where is this going, Kathy? I'm definitely here for it, but out of the blue. What? Oh God, I would love to see inside the mind of Kathy Hilton. So anyway, she's like, yeah, I noticed everyone goes a little bit above it, and now it's even more exaggerated. So is that on purpose? No, Kathy, I got ready in the dark. I was putting my makeup on in the bunk bedroom at Kyle's. So thanks for embarrassing me. Erica just said, it's whoever did my face tonight. What do you mean, whoever? It was Preston, your drinking buddy. And then Sutton jokes, my lipstick is from Target. Kathy, I don't like red on blondes, but I love it on you. Way to save it, Kath. Okay, so Rob gets everyone's attention, and Crystal gives a little speech thanking everyone for coming, and they bring out Crystal's birthday cake, and it's like 2 tiers, white frosting, and in the top, a giant butcher knife is stuck into the top of the cake, and red is oozing down that top tier. And Crystal's like, this is my 2nd year celebrating my birthday with this group. And it's my last year in my 30s. And there's dead silence. Erica, she's so young. Dorit's like, what a brag. Rinna, oh, Lord have mercy. I can't even remember my 30s. Rinna has gone to sit up by the bar, away from everybody. I can't believe she's still sitting there. Don't you have a card trick to practice or something? In Diana's confessional, she goes, bitch, shut up. You haven't even had your first Botox yet. Everything is tight. See you in 10 years. Oh, are you the one that's going to inject the Botox? Now Erica goes over to stand behind the bar, which is where Asher and Diana are. And Diana puts her arm around Erica, Diana making it clear that she's chosen her team. This is such a striking picture. Doesn't this give you this vibe of 2 women who are taking their kid trick-or-treating? And is Asher trying to grow a mustache? That's so cute. Okay, so now Crystal passes out the cookies to the ladies. And the ladies they're just eating their cookies with their names on it. Are we not going to talk about the cake with the bloody butcher knife in it? Is there a clue in the cookie? I'm confused. So now Dorit goes over to Garcelle and says, how did Erica take the news about the reel? Oh, you little pot stirrer. You had to bring it up to Erica, and now you've got to bring it up to Garcelle. Let's make sure those 2 talk about it. Garcelle, always cool as a cucumber. Oh, I haven't talked to her about it. Dorit, she didn't say anything? Garcelle goes, well, I haven't seen her since Aspen. And by the way, that was filmed prior to the Aspen trip. Dorit, it aired after. Yeah, obviously. Didn't you just see it? So now Crystal goes, where's Rinna? So immediately I'm thinking, she's off somewhere stuffing a long string of scarves down her sleeve. Either that or she's the murder victim in this game. Maybe inside her cookie it said, you're the one that's dead. So she left. Dorit tells us in her confessional that she thinks Garcelle is guilty of throwing a grenade and then masking it as coming from a place of concern. Well, you're wrong again, Dorit. Dorit's bothering me this episode, if you can't tell. Wrong again, because she was concerned about the drinking. She's not concerned about the earrings. There she just thinks Erica is dead wrong. So Crystal goes upstairs and she finds Rinna. And she goes, why are you leaving? Rinna takes Crystal's hands in her hands. I love you. I need to go home. I wasn't told there would be another magician here. Okay, I work solo. Plus, I'm still really mad about what happened in Aspen. And I can't sit here any longer. In her confessional, Rinna says, I am really trying, but I feel like I've seen the devil. And her name is Kathy Hilton. Your best friend just said, I don't care about the victims. I only care about me. So yeah, you have seen the devil. You just got the name wrong. So Crystal goes, was it really that bad? Now, here's where years of soap opera training are really paying off for Rinna. She gets the quivering lip, nods. Yes, what I saw. Oh my God. Did she witness Kathy Hilton kill somebody? I mean, I didn't want to say anything earlier, but I don't see Teddy at this party. You guys, is that what the bloody birthday cake is all about? And the fingerprint cookies? Is that why Kathy won't eat her cookie? Earlier, she said, I'm going to save mine. I'm going to bring it home. Kathy doesn't care about a cookie. Well, what's she going to save that for? I bet there's a note inside that cookie that says, I know what you did in Aspen. Oh, I just got chills, you guys. It is all coming together for me. Think about it. She slept in a dark room, no windows. Teddy shared that room with her. Teddy is friends with Kyle. Kathy hates Kyle for, various reasons, let's say. How better to hurt Kyle than to murder her friend? I just don't know how the connection. Oh, okay. Rob Minkoff, maybe he heard something through his three-way connections, word on the street. So he takes Crystal's birthday cake, which is just a beautiful two-tiered white cake that says happy birthday on the top. He sticks a knife in the top of it with fake blood pouring out of it, all to send a message to one Kathy Hilton. Rinna is beside herself. Maybe she helped her dispose of the body. Maybe that's what's really going on. That's why Rinna isn't sleeping at night. I mean, case closed. I think I got it. Back to Rinna and Crystal. Rinna is so distraught right now that she's hugging Crystal a little too tightly for a little too long, where it turns into like something uncomfortable. That's what's happening here. I have to be right about that because it's the only thing that makes sense as to why Rinna is this upset. Kathy wasn't coming after her. Meanwhile, back downstairs with the other ladies, Erica is sitting in one chair across from Garcelle. She goes, hey, Garcelle, can I talk to you about something? Garcelle, absolutely. Babe, I would have loved a heads up because I know you filmed that thing before Aspen, and I thought we had a nice time in Aspen. Garcelle, we did have a nice time in Aspen. Did you? Bravo, where's my flashback of, yeah, stick to the facts, you dumb fucks. Oh, sure, you had a great time in Aspen. Erica, I thought we connected at dinner and snowmobiling. Side note, is Diana hiding behind her feathers? You do know we can still see you, sweetie, right? Garcelle really has no excuse. I mean, she just didn't want to tell her. She's like, that's part of the show. We do hot topics, and that's just part of the deal. Erica's like, yeah, I get that. I just would have liked to have heard, from the source. But it's fine. It's all good. And Garcelle's like, well, obviously it isn't. I hurt you, and I'm sorry for that. Erica goes, that's cool. Well, that's not good enough for Dorit. So Dorit has to she goes, something feels like, and then she goes, oh. Everyone turns to look at the stairs, and it's just Crystal coming down the stairs. She goes, Rinna left. Garcelle, without saying goodbye to anybody? Crystal, she said she had to go. She said she was quite shaken up by what happened in Aspen. Now, Kathy's sitting right there, too. I don't know what that even means, Crystal said, but she looked like she saw a ghost. And Garcelle goes, what? Now, in Kathy Hilton's confessional, she says, I know Lisa's going through a lot, losing her mom. So, if she had to leave early, that's her business. Oh, yeah, you wish that's what it was. I don't feel like she left because of what I shared in Aspen. She was a sweetheart. She listened. I got no indication that she was upset. Then, in true Kathy fashion, she says, I mean, if I was the toe that broke the camel's back, I'm sorry. The toe. Somehow and in some way, Kathy's brain is thinking of camel toe and the expression, the straw that broke the camel's back. So now this is the toe that broke the camel's back. Anyway, so if she was the toe that broke the camel's back, then she apologizes. Why are we not seeing this footage? It's such an important part of what's going on here. And I can't believe that we're just supposed to believe Rinna. We're just supposed to believe her account of what happened. Yeah, I saw the text. And I saw the text where Kathy said, I'm staying silent. Silence is golden. But that's vague. That could mean anything. Yeah, I'm sure something was said, but I want to know exactly, not through the lens of Rinna. I want to see the footage in the van. I want to see the footage back at the house when it was just Lisa and Kathy. I want to see Kathy smash her own glasses. If all of that happened, I can't believe there wasn't a camera. So is Bravo saving it for something else? Did Kathy talk to her attorneys? And like, if Kathy's so powerful that she can scare Bravo into not showing certain footage, that kind of surprises me because everybody has to sign something before they're on that show. I'm sure of it. We've seen things that make wealthy people look really bad, and I have to believe it's because they don't have any legal recourse to get it, shut down. So maybe it's still to come. All I know is I'm not the only person that feels like we're owed that footage, right? If you're going to spend X number of episodes talking about what happened, then we deserve for you to show us or tell us why you won't. So anyway, now Garcelle said, Erica, you should text her, find out what's going on. Erica gets up. I will BRB. In the 20s, this would have been a soup can and a rope. Okay, so for some reason, Diana follows Erica to make this call to Rinna. Rinna doesn't answer her phone. I think she tries a couple of times and she's not picking up. So then Erica says, I think Lisa's mad because she thinks some behavior is being swept under the rug. Diana says, that's night in Aspen at the club. Erica goes, we were all having a good time. Kathy was upset for some reason. We all saw her yelling in Kyle's face, and Lisa Rinna took her home. But Lisa Rinna should really tell what happened on that way home. Oh, she is. We're hearing it from Lisa Rinna, and we're seeing texts, so like that feels like proof. But why don't we get to see the actual meltdown? Erica goes on to say, in her defense, I've said some ugly things myself. Oh, no, you would never say anything ugly. You're too hard on yourself. Side note, guys, I'm starting to love The Crown. I don't know why. It's growing on me. So now Erica says to Diana, the trouble I'm having is everyone was quick to condemn my behavior the night after the Italian dinner. Oh, yeah, we remember. We were all there. But if we're going to talk about Erica's behavior, are we going to talk about everyone in the group? And Diana goes, yes, I say everybody. Kathy was raging. I don't even know who that person was. That was your friend Paris's mom. So Erica's like, we all saw it. All she has to do is admit it, apologize, and move on to the police department to turn herself in. I mean, this is murder we're talking about. So meanwhile, Dorit's like, I'm going to head out. I have to get home to my babies. Erica and Diana are still talking, and they're in the Lion King room. Diana thinks she can finish Erica's sentences, but she can't. Like, she finishes them, but it wasn't what Erica was going to say. And it's hilarious. The first time Erica kind of gives her a pass. Erica starts to say, Lisa feels, and Diana goes, torn. Erica's like, torn, but also she feels like, Diana, like between two sisters. Now Erica's like, no. I gave you torn as a courtesy, even though that's not where I was going. So now she says, no, this has nothing to do with Kyle's sisters. This is about being Kathy Hilton. Lisa has her own story to tell, Diana. So why is she not here? Want Lisa. Want Lisa. Erica goes, is that a chicken? What chicken sounds like that? Want. All right, so as Dorit was heading home to her babies, she somehow finds herself in the same room with Erica and Diana, which is just probably where she wanted to be all along rather than with the outsiders. So like downstairs, Garcelle's like, did Dorit leave? Now, Dorit actually said, I'm going home to my babies. Maybe Garcelle didn't hear her, but at least she said something. Rinna was too distraught. Was very upset. Do you know what it feels like to have a rabbit sitting on your head all night? It's a little bit heavy. So now Crystal's like, oh, now I got to go say goodbye to somebody else. So she goes running up the stairs. And the others that are left downstairs all get up and they're like, yeah, it's time to go. They come upstairs. Now they go in the room and they're saying goodnight to Erica and Diana. I'm sorry, really? No one questions the fingerprint cookies or the bloody knife cookie or the giant knife stuck in Crystal's birthday cake with blood gushing out of it. Does that have something to do with Crystal turning 39? God, I hope not. But seriously, not a word? Look, I don't mean to keep harping on this. It's just all I'm saying is if let's say I invited my family to come to my birthday party and I brought out the cake and without saying a word, instead of happy birthday, Jill, it just has blood oozing down and a butcher knife stuck in the top. And all I do is blow out the candle, make a wish, and cut the cake. I promise you, somebody would be like, what's with the cake? Do you think people were afraid to ask? Like, oh, that looks very dark. And I don't think I want to know why. So Garcelle says, good night, Erica. And Erica said, goodbye, sweetheart. Then Dorit pretends to leave the room right behind Garcelle, but she turns around and comes back in. Not loving Dorit this episode. She turns back to Erica and she gets these really big eyes like, what is going on? And Erica's like, let him go. Let him get out the door first. Yeah, before she starts talking about them, Dorit, can you give her that much time? So Dorit comes and sits down next to Erica. Dorit, remember your babies? What happened to your babies at home? Sorry, babies. Mama's got some gossiping to do. So Erica kind of fills in Dorit on what she and Diana were talking about. And Erica said, so I'm going to tell you why I think Lisa Rinna left. When she took Kathy home, it got worse. Dorit, it was a Kathy I had never seen before. Meanwhile, at the door, Crystal's giving out these massive treat bags. Erica's confessional. Remember, be careful of those who have a lot to protect. I don't have anything to protect. Off the top of my head, I can think of 2 things. Or should I say 1.3 million things? All the ladies upstairs are getting one more group photo together while they hold their gift bags. It's Cherie, Kathy, Crystal, Garcelle, Sutton, and some woman I don't know. I don't know how she got into this picture. I don't know who she is. Either she's there for a Rob Minkoff sanctioned 3-way, or it's some weird Make-A-Wish thing. I don't know. Do they do that for adults? I want to attend a Housewives dinner party, preferably one that requires costumes. Back in the Lion King room, Dorit says to Erica, you know what I'm afraid of? Side note, is Erica okay here? Do we need to call someone? Anyway, Dorit goes, I'm afraid the person that's going to suffer the most is Kyle. Weren't you two just dragging her earlier at the chocolate factory? Now suddenly you worry about her, Veruca? Okay. Erica just does this. The end. And that's the end of this episode, you guys. Yeah. How long is this season going to be? We see previews for next week. Still no word that that's the season finale or anything. There's still a lot. I'm not complaining because there's a lot going on. I'm happy to watch. I'm happy to recap. But I don't know. Lately, it seems like Bravo's been doing shorter seasons. I can remember back when I first started recapping, there'd be 22 episodes of Orange County and 3 reunions on top of that. So it was pretty normal to go that long. And then they started really truncating the seasons. I think New Jersey was the first one that just had 13. And I was like, wow, that ended quick. But now it just seems like it's unusually long. Anyway, I wanted to make one quick comment before I go. I've never said anything about super thanks because I didn't want people to feel like they had to do it. Underneath the video where you can do the thumbs up or leave a comment and all that, there's something called super thanks. It's a fairly new thing that YouTube is doing, and it's a way to give a tip, give money to the content creator. And I don't know, I just felt very awkward about promoting that or whatever. So I never said anything. However, some of you guys have found it and have been giving me tips anyway, even though I didn't mention it. And I just want to say, I'm afraid I'm missing some of your comments. And I just want to take the opportunity right now to tell you thank you so much for that. I just think it's very kind that you want to support me and what I'm doing. I do try to use that money to help buy updated equipment and things like that. I got this really nice Rode microphone last year with money that I earned from YouTube. So yeah, I mean, I do use the money to try to make my videos look better, sound better, and all that. And I just wanted you to know, if you're giving me a super thanks and I missed your comment altogether, I'm very, very sorry, because it means so much to me. At the risk of sounding like I'm trying to get more of you to do it, nobody has to do it. Just let's be clear. The content is free. But those of you who have, I just want to make sure you know how much that means to me. Thank you so much. All right, that's it for me this week. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel, Jill Informed. Click on the bell icon to get notifications every time I post a new video. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.